And while that one's waiting, I'll just go to Facebook and create a new stream there. Set up live video. So since we're already recording on Kelei's thingy, maybe we should have a little banter.
Well, they can only hear my voice because I'm going to keep you guys in here, but this is actually really good for people to help them with their listening skills. That's one of the most effective things that you can do as a conscious human being, is actually be able to be in resonance with what's being said so that you can receive the information, which is why we're approaching this the way that we're doing it, very naturally. Carl's sitting there ready to go, Clean House Hawaii.
Yeah, sorry to take so much of your time, even just in the setup process today, guys. I am like a chicken running around with my head cut off.
I mean, it's
Okay, let's
exciting to
see.
be around me and
Facebook.
Carl,
Okay,
you know.
Facebook looks like it's going to work.
All right, perfect. Because then we can just
So,
share it. You can tag Joe in it.
okay.
You can tag Shelby in it. Let's tag other people from Hawaii. You know, Keone Payton from the Big Island, BJ Penn, you know, Tapai. We know that the Republican Party is having their convention right now. We don't need to tag anybody from there right now, but Clean House should be tagged. And Joe Akana, who ran for Congress as a Republican in both 2022 and 2020. He can just make sure he's tagged in on it.
Here we go. Let me see. Tag. Okay, tagging is a little bit separate there.
You know, I'm not even on Facebook anymore because I got completely shadow banned for about a year and a half and then completely banned. So it's so crazy that I don't get on it and I still know how to work the functions of it because that was my medium right before they.
Right.
What did you ban me for?
For being Kanaka Maoli.
I cannot take that out of my DNA. I can't take my DNA out of my. I can't take my soul and my DNA out of my non-corporate fiction natural body and biological compounds.
Right. Not your fault that you are a star seed.
Just like the rest of us on top of this.
Yeah.
Communications, broadcasting, recording.
Let's see who else is good to tag. I got Joe, BJ, Carl, Keiki.
Mageso.
Huh? Oh yeah,
Mageso from
Mageso.
Kauai. You guys
And then
vote for
there's
Mageso for mayor in
Susie.
Kauai. Susie, I just messaged her last night. We
Shoot,
gotta
I
get
have
back
too
on
many
her, and I
Susies here. Do I have her on Facebook even? Is she even on
I know
Facebook?
she's not on Facebook. I know that
She's
she's not on
wiser
Facebook.
than us that way.
Well, you know, just once you get abused so much, you don't want
Yeah.
to go back to your
Well, you don't want
abuser.
to
You
keep
know what I mean?
feeding the Zuck machine, right?
The Zionist machine.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Burp, burp, burp.
That's my
Okay,
opinion.
let's see. All right, so I got a good number there. I could tag all day. There's probably a million people to tag.
We can always go back and do that. So that's what I know that
Okay.
is. Once you do it, you can always go back, you could tag it, you could share it in your groups. But once the content is created, it's created. And you'll know if they'll shadow ban us. You'll know if people are reporting the information because you'll see the activity after the fact. If there's anything that I've learned from, you know, Facebook and YouTube, it's they'll do stuff that's very weird after the fact.
Okay, so I'm just making a post there. All right, all right, click go live. Now I'm going to try to go on my own Facebook on my phone here and then listen in. I think, yeah, we're live on Facebook now. But no, where do I even go look for that? Wait, okay, I remember I saved the old link before. Notes. Oh, but I need to reinstall Signal. That was one of the things I had to delete. It was so bloated. That's how I send myself the links and stuff from one device to the other.
Well, for today, could you make the exception? You're just
No, no,
emailing it to yourself.
I delete and then I reinstall. Right?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because otherwise it just keeps getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And then I just start fresh. So yeah, I'm downloading, reinstalling. That'll take a second. And then I gotta sign in or whatever, send myself the links, send you guys the links. I guess I could do it on Telegram too anyway, but update, no, skip that.
So,
Okay, are you guys able to access my Facebook feed and tell me what the sound is like? Because I'm not seeing anywhere on my phone conveniently.
I do not believe I can because I don't have access to Facebook.
Okay.
Carl would have to press the link and see from a different device if it's streaming correctly and in real time, or if there's a lag, or if you can hear you, or any of that type of stuff.
Okay. I'm looking for my note that has the thing. Okay, Facebook. Ah, it's Andrew Aker 1/live videos. That's the
Andrew Aker
link.
1
Yeah.
/ live videos. Okay, we'll get that link out
Andrew
to
dot
everybody.
Aker. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
put it
send it
inside of
in
the
a second.
comment section below, or actually, after we're done with this and recording everything, I'll put the link inside the post. I'll
Is
go
there a
back in and
chat
I'll do that.
here? No, no chat. Okay, here, I'm sending you a Facebook link first, Kelei.
All right.
And I can send one to Carl.
Okay, I'm just clicking on the link.
And then
It
I
doesn't
can
allow
open
me. This
that
is
on
what it
my
looks like for
phone.
me. I can't open it, but I know that it's because I don't have an account there anymore.
Right, right.
I know for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm opening it from my phone. Okay, now I'm seeing a live thingy. Okay, I got my sound check going.
All
Now I
right,
can
let's
get the
get
sound
going.
dialed in.
And then if I have to leave because we have an appointment at 11 Aloha time AM, we have an appointment with another Kanaka Maoli mix individual that you guys actually both know. So for the record, I can't take out Kanaka Maoli out of my DNA. But anyways, we'll just drive and or travel, right? We'll travel.
Okay, good. I think our sound quality is decent. I'm going to continue to play with the filters or whatever to get my own voice fixed, but you guys are good to go. And then I'll keep adding more streams as we carry on. So today we've got the Queen Iconic logo up there above. We're just
Oh
playing
no, we
around.
got Vote Kelei for governor up there.
Vote Kelei for governor. Yeah, so Kelei, you're running for governor. You're the founder of Iconic Brands. That's all tied together with your whole story. Can you give the I got this sound going in my ear. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so Kelei, you got a story. Let's tell the story in a compressed version for the folks who've never heard of you before. Yeah, who are you? What's going on? Why are we on the thing today talking at all?
Okay, well, thank you, Andrew, and thank you for your continued hard work in the archipelago. So I'm Kelei Akana, a repatriated Hawaiian national. I was born in the archipelago. I was raised in the archipelago. And then I went away and then I came back and then I saw, a lot of corruption happening here. And I wanted to do something about it, not just this year, but as you guys both know, I ran as a nonpartisan candidate for governor in 2022. And the things that I ran on were, as you can see on top of the screen, which I would like to read to everybody. Let me go get this over here real quick so I can read it out loud to people. If you don't have it on the screen, that's okay. You can post it on your social media account. Carl, if you could do that too, that would be great. So it's for the people of Hawaii, vote Kelei for governor. protecting Hawaii, its lands, resources, and its people, challenging the status quo, establishing advanced education for all families, providing new economic opportunities, creating energy independence for Hawaii, revolutionizing the providing of quality housing, putting a stop to corporate influence, fighting to win against corruption and fraud, ending human and child trafficking and sex slavery. So that's what I ran on in 2022. And as Carl knows, I registered correctly, unlike the Republican Party. And I ran and I won in my primaries, and I lost. Everybody lost in the primaries because of the rules that the state of Hawaii and their city and county and all of their little constituents that get federal funding from the feds and the government, the United States government, what they've been doing and how they've been doing it. And it's pure corruption here in Hawaii. So this is where I was born. This is where I was raised. I went away and then to another place where my DNA ties to as well. And then I came back home. I thought I was retiring in 2018 off of crypto. Because if you don't know my background on that, you might want to learn that part of the history that you guys don't know about, which is, inside of my car, my cold storage wallets were inside of Joe's car that was registered, where I was brutally beaten last year in 5/5 of 2025 by, the state, their constituents, these purported public servants, because we are bringing very, very keen, uh, we're exploiting the problem that's at hand, which is the human trafficking, the trafficking of the foreigners, the trafficking of the people who were born here, the trafficking of all peoples coming in and out of the archipelago, and who's doing it and what's what. So that's why I'm on this call today, because a lot of people in Hawaii, they don't know my story. And we all know, the three of us on the call, you as a witness to the crime in real time, Andrew, and Carl, who is the lead investigator and one of our consultants that we consult with, which we can do so for the ministries. That's on the record, on the trust, and in the trust, right? Which is something that we weren't taught to protect ourselves with, any of us all over the world. They're not teaching it in K through 12. They're not teaching us true law. They're not teaching us how to navigate the system.
Oh, let's see if that just does it. Maybe I won't have to reconfigure everything. What? Okay, my other thing crashed too? No. Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Hanu. Hanu.
Hanu. Yeah.
Hanu, right? We breathe. The conscious can settle their minds, settle their spirit. But definitely, it's frustrating when things like that happen in real time.
Yeah, and this time I didn't even really do much. I just tried to hit the Rumble Go button, but no, computer said no.
It might be more effective to just stream to one or record it and then have like an evergreen template database to do the NFTs to load up to the blockchain.
Yeah, once I get my AI tools working, then I could do that. But right now, it would be manual labor to go then deal with heavy, big files. Because when you record 2 hours of conversation and video, I guess if it's just an MP3, that's one thing. But all right. And yeah, that's why I did set up the simulcast, and it was going pretty stable for a while. But yeah, I just don't put enough time and energy into podcasting that I should.
Well, because you'd be really great at it. You have my full support. I know that I'm very excited to continue to do podcasts and updating. That's all the stuff that I used to do before they censored me on Facebook.
I appreciate
right? Like I
that.
use live stream, right? I use all of these different, I use Facebook as a tool to grow a network to informationalize people that allow them to go then ahead and make their own educated decisions. And that's what we kept on doing for free, right? You keep feeding people the information, the content that you're finding. Well, and people are actually pretty appreciative of that. I mean, there's a variety of responses, of course, but For the most part, the people that I was informationalizing, a lot of us are still friends because we all saw different pieces of information past the propaganda. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
And we
you
all have a
guys lived
collective
through it.
consciousness.
Like, yeah, it wasn't just something you see on the YouTube or on TV. Like, you actually went face to face, seeing what the police are doing to people. And then finally it came back around and they did it to you too.
Well, yeah, and what were the reasons? There's so many different motives here. You know, Carl looked over the case. You know, and he, you know, he's from a third party perspective. He wasn't there. He wasn't on the phone with the police station like you were when you called 911. You know what I'm saying? So he's seen my content, which I recorded because that's what you have to do in this day and age, because these people have become so preposterous in their corruption that they know that their whole goal and their incentivization of what they do is to create a bond on the spot by using illegal methods that have been condoned by predators that are making the decisions in the courthouses for them to continue to do this in the lower court systems, and they're statutory.
Right.
They're, you know, they're, you know what I mean? So this has been going on forever and ever, and this is what the old people tell me. This is what, you know, the kupuna say, and the, you know, but our generation X, we're like, nah, we don't want to be a part of your club. And there are others, obviously, in different generation batches, but you know, our generation was before the internet, TV, you know what I mean, black and white, color. You know, before we found all the things about Disney, Balenciaga, you know, all of these things, it was like we had to actually go through our own awakening and filtration system about this information. And somehow we want to be friends still, and we want this problem to stop. Whereas other people are just not putting anything on the record. And then, you know, they're being bullied. So many people are being bullied. All the homeless people, they're stealing the vote. They're using dead people and homeless people. Right, Carl? And we have evidence of all of that. Right? But when you go to exploit them, what do? They come after you and they try to kill you. They try to threaten you. They try to coerce you, right, into their conspiracy to bow down to their ideologies, which are all foreign to me. Right?
So we are live now on Instagram, back on Facebook, back on X.com. Let's try again to double check our sound. Yeah, I'm not able to show you your icons even, I guess. Or I can't show WhatsApp now. It's not even recognizing it. But can we do another sound check with Kelei and Carl both? I'm listening in with my earbud here.
Carl.
Yes.
Carl.
Carl. So yeah, Carl, can you tell us a bit more about this homeless grift that the state of Hawaii is perpetrating?
Not just the state, the city and county.
State, city, county, like it seems like everybody's in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's it's similar to the. Okay, I'm going to compare it to cancer. Cancer, they're never going to really find a cure for it. Well, there are cures for it, but they're not going to release it. They're not going to make it widely known because there's so much money in not curing it. And yeah, there's no cash in cures. Because once they figure it out and market it, then there's only, the patents and, all this other stuff that eventually it'll be, not enough money or alleged money in it. So the homeless problem is a way that the politicians and others, nonprofit organizations have, they're basically using it as a business for, some would call it cash flow, but it's actually debt flow. And I say debt flow because the alleged currency, or whatever you want to call it, the greenbacks, whatever, in the banking system, it's modern day slavery. And if you have debt, you're a slave. If you don't have debt, if you have value, then you're free, and it's just that basic, really. And right on the money, the legal tender they call it. It's not money. The word money doesn't appear anywhere on the currency or the alleged currency or the notes or the coinage or any of that. It's legal tender. Legal tender is debt, and you can't legally pay debt with debt.
So, like BJ Penn said, what starts with a lie ends with a lie. So, our whole monetary system is a lie. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, and beyond that, and that you're free is a lie because you're enslaved by the debt.
Yeah, that you're free. It's a lie because you're enslaved by the debt. That's correct.
Yes.
So and what they do? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, their goal is to expand the debt and expand the slavery. It's modern slavery. And there's more people today enslaved than ever before in the history of Earth.
So they're bringing in these homeless people from other states. And I see it with my own eyes here too. These people are not locals, a lot of them. What do they call them? The chronics? The chronic homeless that are here are the ones that are actually here. But then there's always these new faces, and they're always methed out, riding bicycles around, like giving you free advice on where to park. And not just on Maui. I'm seeing that on other islands. It's really weird. And so the state and county are able to, like, what, get federal funding for this, or how does that work?
Oh, it's a huge enterprise. You got the nonprofits, which get money from the public and from the feds and from local, grants and all the. It's a huge grift.
So the nonprofits, the NGOs, just like Doge in Hawaii has been showing with other areas, that's how they seem to operate, where their money's coming through.
Yes, and 2 years ago, I went to every town hall with Mayor Blangiardi and Michael Formby.
That's Honolulu mayor, for the folks who are not familiar.
So, and Zionist. Yeah, and they actually believed that they could stop homelessness. And I finally went up to Michael Formby, and I said, "You're never going to stop this." And he said, "What do you mean?" And I showed him what my research and my paperwork and everything that I had, and it blew his mind. And he is the managing director. He knows how to run. He's the one that runs everything in Honolulu.
Well, he just stepped down, right? He just stepped down this week, and he's going to go work for some corporation that's in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like the revolving door between Blangiardi's office and Hawaii News Now. So he was a senior producer at Hawaii News Now, right? Like the FDA and the big pharma guys, they just like take turns going back and forth between being a lobbyist or being a government agent.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, carry on.
Foreign agent. Well, also, not just that, it's a foreign agent. They're foreign agents racketeering and embezzling public funds to pay for their criminality to continue to occupy Hawaii.
Yeah, the whole show is under it's RICO.
Yeah, antitrust and RICO.
Yeah, it's antitrust and RICO, 100%. If you read the RICO statutes, all the government and these nonprofits and all of this stuff, it's the poster child of RICO. And they're all doing it for, well, it's not profit, but it's for gains. Gains in debt and gains in slavery.
Right, and if you're in a courtroom, a slimy lawyer will say, well, there was no profit, when in fact there were gains, and it's just a different word, but kind of, they're still benefiting.
Yeah. Yeah. And they dress it up like a pig and put some lipstick on it, and no, it's not a pig.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, Carl, I mean, on the topic of police brutality, because in Hawaii, obviously during this administration, was never actually, the election shouldn't have been certified in 2022 or 2024 or 2020.
Yeah.
Or ever on Scott Nago's watch. It was never duly certified. Let's talk about that, because you guys know me and Joe. You know, I mean, Joe ran for office twice. We all know he won his races. And you know, like, for a person of his age to try to like run another campaign again and this, that, and the other after seeing the level of, you know, cheating that has happened and rigging of the state election for Hawaii, like, and then me running, like, it's deteriorating for all of these people who have ran or just don't believe in anybody anymore, because they've just seen the same duplicatable behavior over a pattern and systemically over time. So it's hard for them to believe that somebody else can come in and be like, hey, you know what, we don't need none of your damn money, because we know the money is the human trafficking, right? It's the human farm trafficking using contracts, right? That should have actually never ever been written in the first place, because it all formed from unlawful and illegal overthrow of a kingdom that was already standing. Well, not that I want to go back to the kingdom, okay? But
Yeah.
all the way back then, it was deceitful. It was the poisonous fruit. You know, it's on public record already in U.S. Public Joint Resolution in 103-150. But the reality is who is voting in what election, and are they actually the legitimates who should be voting in that election?
Well, that's just it. With mail-in ballot, especially here in Hawaii, there's no chain of custody. There's no balance and checks. And actually, the mail-in ballot Act 136, in order for anything to become a law or statute or whatever, it has to pass 3 readings. And I've tried, it's 92 pages, and I've tried several times. You cannot read it. It's impossible. It's impossible to read. It's impossible to make any sense out of it, because out of the 92 pages, there's 76, I think it was. 76 pages have lined out stuff, and some of the whole page is lined out. So what's in, what's out?
You mean redacted? You mean redacted?
No, not redacted, just lined out.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, and I have a video of that, a 1 minute video where you scroll through and you see it's a disaster. I mean, it's worse than reading my handwriting.
So Carl, just for the record, because it is that we're talking about this publicly, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be released, and we encourage all of you guys to share this when you hear it with all your friends, because at the end of the day, there are people who are going to stand in the light, in the aloha spirit, and there's going to be people who are going to defame all of that. For the record, for the people, Surrey jurist, pro se, you know, you've been around Hawaii for a very long time. You're well respected in the community, Carl. I've met people that have met you, both Hawaiian and non-Hawaiian, both local and not local. And over the last year since May 5th, you know, we've really gotten to know each other.
Yeah.
May 5th, the day that 4 Honolulu PD officers tased you and nearly killed you that day?
They failed in a paid homicide attempt.
Yeah,
break that down for everybody. Like, everyone has a Sixth Amendment right to practice constitutional law if they're an American citizen. You don't have to hire a bar registered licensed attorney.
You don't have to participate in the monopoly, you mean?
Yeah, the monopoly of deceit. Yeah, no. You know, but it's gonna take people who are going, and we have many friends, not just in Hawaii, who are going through the kangaroo court system and catching them in the act, because they have a narrow scope about how they're going to do things, which fascists do. You know what I mean? So I've been through every aspect of the court, because what is their motive to do all of this to a person who ran for office, to a female who has a pretty good track record of becoming a business person and building networks and communities and educating people on blockchain technology and, all this. Carl, so your feedback, because we came to you, right? We came to you, Joe and I came to you, and we showed you the video footage that I had recorded myself. And others, right, who were not protected by the judge, right? Because we have witnesses that weren't even allowed to even testify. Right. So like, what's your synopsis? There's like what, almost 500 dockets filed.
Yep.
Can you give our audience a breakdown of everything that we've done through discovery, through our investigation and our audit of what we're doing right here in Hawaii?
Yeah. Well, first off, I watched the videos and I had very little outside information on this. I just based it on what I saw in the video and what wasn't in the video. And it just stuck in my head. This was a paid hit. It was all pre-practiced, pre-arranged, pre-staged. It was premeditated. There was no stop. It was all set up. And I from the get-go, it was set up before it started. And it was, some parts I would even say have been rehearsed. So this was not the first time they've done it. This is not an isolated event. And and then from there on out, you get it in the court system, well, the alleged court system, judicial system, and there is no constitutional anything in the court system. It's not a court system. Actually, it's not even a branch of the government. It's a corporate entity, a nonprofit, unincorporated nonprofit association, and that's called the Hawaii State Bar Association. And they're not a branch of the government, and they have no legal or lawful authority. And they also
have no immunity.
No, they don't, because they're not a part of the government.
Because they're technically terrorists under U.S. law, international law, Hawaii law. They're technically terrorists with the power because of the influence of the lobbyists who've been here since the overthrow.
Yeah, that could easily be argued that they are terrorists. Yes.
But well, yeah, you serve the governor, Josh Green, for crimes against humanity, and then 4 days later, Honolulu PD tases you because they said that you didn't have proper tags on your Mercedes-Benz, and drag you out of the Benz.
Well, they didn't even properly write the ticket for that. That was Joe's car.
And then took the car without a warrant, right?
Well, they had no Form 48. They have no inventory, and they took the Bitcoin cold storage wallets out of the car. Period. Which is more motive.
Well, right? maybe the guys at the impound took it, right? We don't know who took your crypto wallets for sure, but they're responsible for it going missing.
What we do know in incomplete discovery, and to get a fair trial for anybody, any person who's a citizen, they are supposed to get us complete discovery, not incomplete discovery. They're not supposed to obstruct giving us the information, which they did. Then they threatened me the whole way because their whole motive was to get me out of my aloha spirit. Right? They put me in, they made everybody get out of the courtroom. They didn't want to let us get our subpoenas. The prosecutor's office lied to the judge. They never I don't have a criminal record per the probation officer.
Well, and you hired an attorney, which was then also denied access to the courtroom, right? He said he'd never had that in 20 years of his career, right? Something like that.
Carl, would you like to elaborate on what happened at that time?
Yeah,
in your fake conviction process of Kelei, whoever the fuck they arrested that day?
Yeah. There's just so much. Oh my God.
Go look on the record. 1 CPC dash 25 dash 10 that's dash 000 0554 transferred from a previous case that was purportedly inactive while I showed up for court, and they won't give me the bond.
Yeah.
They won't give me they won't allow me to inspect everything, Andrew. So go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, from the very beginning on May 9th, starting May 9th, this incident happened at May 5th. By May 9th, they could already see that they were in trouble on case 1377 and they were losing. So they already started building another case under another number in the circuit court because they knew this first case was going to fail. So they started building it behind the scenes, never served any certificates of service. They ran a grand jury and the bond, the judge signed for the bond transfer, and they hadn't even gone to a hearing yet, and they were already
and the warrant
Wow.
wasn't even signed. The warrant wasn't even signed.
So
the warrant wasn't signed.
Are we
When
at
they
liberty to
released
share
me
this
from
judge's
jail.
name? Like, how do we lawfully and peacefully have redress, right? How do you seek remedy for
Well, that's the whole
such
point
idiocy?
that's the whole point of what they do. So if you can't redress your government, which is how they shut you up, they confine you in court, they bring in all the people with weapons, you know, they intimidate you. The Judge Souza gave this huge long colloquy about how amazing the prosecutor was, Braxton Brooks. I mean,
special.
no, like we'll drop names. Judge Souza, Kevin Souza. You know, we'll drop names. It's time for all of this stuff to come out. We've got the evidence. We don't have to manipulate anything. And it is scathing what the HPD did provide, or the prosecutor's office.
If these guys are doing it to you, we know they're doing it to other people. So
absolutely.
Oh no, I know.
So do you have a way for these people to reach out to you, and maybe we can do a class action thing or something?
Yeah, we can, but through the ministry's work. Right?
So the Queen Iconic Ministries, is that
right?
Okay.
That, you know that thing, that entity, right?
Right.
We've done a lot of work over the last 2 years since we put that together here in Hawaii, but it doesn't mean that when I didn't come home in 2018, I wasn't already able to observe all of the corruption that was happening. It's very bad here in Hawaii. People are very bullied, and people's lives are threatened. Their families are destroyed. They use the court system to take away the kids with the child welfare services based on anonymous tips that no one can defend. Right?
Yeah, and multiple mothers have told me that the state takes away their kids and gives it to like the weird abuser father, or vice versa. They give it to the worst partner.
Look at the Kalua case, Andrew. The foster parents put her in a cage, tied her up, taped her mouth, and fucking starved her, and that's how they did. This is the people who are in charge of who treat the children how they're supposed to be treated. And
whoever's in the foster system choosing those people should go to jail.
Well, this is the state. This is how the state makes their people.
Right.
Because of the level of PTSD inflicted on them through their war crimes, their democide, technically speaking.
Democide, death by government action, yes.
Right, just by allowing for them to file in a fucking fake court system that shouldn't exist in the first place, which is why the military and the JAG units should all be going into the state and circuit court and this and that and the other based on, FM 27-10, the United States Military Code, the field manuals, as you guys know. That's when I told them I was a repatriated Hawaiian national, and they didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. They tried to make me say I'm a sovereign citizen. I didn't say any of that stuff. They tried to say I was active. They took so long to create the story, and it's still wrong. It's terrible, and they should not be paid, and they should be taken out of their jobs. And there is all of these other constitutional and common law and natural law ways to actually handle this if people got some balls